les amis. Je veux du sérieux. Une erreur. Salut les amis, bon dimanche. Happy Sunday. How are you? Je veux du sérieux. Moi aussi, je veux du sérieux. Je veux du sérieux. Je veux du sérieux. Happy Sunday, guys. How are you? Let's talk real estate a little bit. Je veux pas. Ça, je veux. Je veux pas. C'est ça, je veux. Et la bonne musique camerounaise. Laissez ensemble, boy. Passez. Personne ne veut pleurer tous les soirs, les amis. C'est ça l'amour, je dis non. On va parler immobilier un peu, les amis. Let's talk real estate. All right, guys. You know, a year ago, I told you about opportunities in West Virginia. And I told you properties were selling there at $225,000. Think about 14 to 16 months ago. Properties were selling there for $225,000. And I shared that information with you. You know, I always share good information with you. I share good opportunities with you. A few of you listened. Some of you did not listen. Some of you listened a little bit late. But mieux vaut tard que jamais, right? Better late than never. Some of you actually ended up listening somewhere in the middle. But those of you that listened to me about 16 months ago, I told you about those properties in West Virginia, and I told you the area was growing fast. The area was growing exponentially. And we're talking about a community about an hour, 15 minutes from Washington, D.C. We're talking about a community that is close to Virginia. It's 15 minutes to Maryland. When I told you about this opportunity, a lot of people were like, oh no, what's she talking about? She's trying to make money off of us. Most of the time, when you share good opportunities freely, easily, people don't take you seriously. They want to pay for the information. That's the thing. I always give you free information that you don't take seriously. Thank God a few of you actually do take that seriously and you do take action. And I thank you for that. One of you is a young lady, a nurse. She worked hard, saved her money. When I talked about that opportunity, she joined me immediately and she purchased her first investment property. She purchased that first investment property for $225,000. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 1-car garage, granite countertops, a beautiful primary bedroom suite with a nice bathroom, separate shower tub, a big closet, beautiful house, community magnificent, 240 townhouses that the builder wanted to build over there. And we were amongst the first people to buy those properties. I'm going to give you a free gem today. If you take away one thing today from what I'm going to tell you, you don't even need to become my client. You don't even need to contact me. But if you take one thing from what I'm going to tell you today, whenever you hear that a builder is starting a community somewhere and the prices are low, go and buy. Go and buy and thank me later. The reason is simple. The reason is simple. Builders have a strategy whereby when they start building, they have incentives for those who are going to be the first to buy. So be amongst the first people to buy. Please share this video. Like, the least you can do is to share with somebody who can take advantage of this information. Sharing is caring, right? You can at least do this favor. Share this with somebody. Maybe, just maybe, this information will be something that a person needed to hear. A lot of us work hard. We save money in the bank. That money is not doing us any good. It's not doing us any good. We're getting less than 0.5% in interest when we put money in a savings account. But there are ways to invest the money. So share this video. Maybe this was just what somebody needed to hear today. So as I was telling you, the young lady purchased her first property with me at a builder's community, brand new community. And I'm telling you, this is the best thing you can do. Like, it's a no-brainer. When a builder starts a community somewhere, they've already done the homework. They've already studied the area. They already know the potential of the area. They did the work for you. So if there's one thing you're going to remember today, is this that I'm telling you. And this is absolutely important. When you go into a new community and you're amongst the first people to buy a house there, what the builder does is that as they continue to build, they continue to increase the price. As they continue to build, they continue to increase the price. So when you buy first, every one of them told me that every 2 homes that they sell, sorry guys, every 2 homes that they sell, they share that. They increase the price. They share that with me. They increase the price by at least $5,000 for every 2 new houses that they sell. So as soon as they list it for $225,000, they sell 2 properties. The third one will be $230,000. The next 2 are $230,000, and then number 5 will be $235,000. That is how prices grow. So imagine if you are amongst the first to grab a property in a brand new community like that, and the price keeps going up. So please apply this. Talk to your realtor. Ask your realtor, where can I find good properties at an affordable price with a builder that is just getting started? Ask your realtor that question. Come back and tell me about it. So this young lady bought the house, this nurse. We got her a tenant for $2,000 per month. Guess what? Guess what? That property has had the same tenant for all the time. Like, from day one that she purchased the property, she got the tenant. She has had that same tenant all that time. And she's making enough cash flow every month. But on top of that, she has gotten all her invested money back, 100%. So when you buy a property, let's say you buy the property for $250,000. Hers was $225,000, and I don't have a calculator for you. But at $250,000, if you put 20% down, you bought the house at $250,000. 20% down is $50,000, right? So all you need for you to get all your money back is for the property to reach $300,000. You get all your invested money back, 100%. You got your money back. Once the property hits $300,000, you've gotten $50,000 in equity, 100% of your money back. The lady bought the property at $225,000. So assuming she puts down 45,000 in down payment, 5,000 in closing costs because builders do give closing cost assistance. That is $50,000. At 275,000, she has already gotten all her invested money back. But guess what? 16 months later, today, as we speak, I just got the notification that the same builder is selling the same properties. The last five left at 298,000 for the first two and over 300,000 for the last two. Imagine how much money in equity my client has made, right? So just think about it. When you invest in real estate, this is a long-term investment. This is generational wealth that you're building. This is not a one-time thing where you're just trying to go and win the lottery. No, you're investing for the long run. And that's why you have to be patient. You have to have the right expert with you, the right lender, the right realtor, the right title company, the right insurance company, all of that. So I am just so excited for all my investors that reacted immediately when I shared the information 12 to 16 months ago when I talked about those upcoming communities in West Virginia. I have sold so many homes. I don't know, maybe during that time, over 60 properties from the time that I started talking about those opportunities. I have sold so many properties there. A lot of people went there and bought by themselves, even without me. So I can't count how many people took advantage of this opportunity. But what I'm telling you is that was the best decision they could ever make. By buying the properties low when the builders started building. That is the gem I wanted to share with you today. Find a builder somewhere in the United States. Be amongst the first to purchase the newly built properties and just sit down and wait. Enjoy your cash flow. Even if the cash flow is only maybe, let's say, $200 a month, right? So even if your mortgage is $1,800 and your or maybe $1,700, and then you have other costs or things like that for $100, and you have cash flow of $200 every month, go for it. Go for it, because what matters is how much equity you're going to build on that newly built property. That is a very, very good way of investing in real estate. I wanted to share that with you today. Please, it doesn't matter where you are. I am licensed in multiple states, and I have a team in any state where I'm not. So if you're interested in investing in real estate, you want to reach out to me, go on my page, Coach Lisa Prudy. Book an appointment, take a free session, talk to me, 30 minutes. Let's discuss your strategy. Investing in real estate is the best way to build generational wealth. I have been investing in real estate for so long now. My first house, I purchased it. I keep telling everyone about this. My first house, I bought it for $200,000 and I sold it 8 years later for $400,000. And in the meantime, I left that house, moved to another house, and I had tenants in that house making me a lot of cash flow for the few years that I owned the property. So I cannot think of any time that I regret investing in real estate. It was the best decision I could ever make. So please, don't waste time. Don't hesitate. I'm gonna tell you this: that first house that I bought, I only spent about $6,000. I spent about $6,000 to buy that house. $6,000 in down payment because the house was 200,000, and I only needed 3% down payment because I had excellent credit. With a conventional loan, you can go as little as 0% down payment. But I put down 3%. That was 6,000, and I also paid maybe 4,000 in closing costs. But I also got some assistance. So overall, I spent barely $10,000 to get that first house, but I ended up selling it 8 years later for $200,000 more, even though I was already making money from tenants. And the rent there, I was renting per room, and I was making about $3,300 per month, renting that house per room. Funny enough, I'm in that area right now. I might pass by. You want to drive by? You want to drive past Presley? Okay, we're gonna drive past Presley. I'm gonna see if I can share. I can show you the area a little bit. We're visiting a friend who just lost his father in this area today, and it's so such a coincidence that yeah, this is where I purchased that first house for $200,000. That same house, as we speak, when I go online, the value is over 500,000 as we speak. When I go online, this house is 30 minutes from Washington D.C. 30 minutes, and the metro station is where? It's how far is the metro station? About 5 minutes, 5 minutes drive, 7 minutes drive, right? And there's a bus stop right at the entrance of my former house. There's a bus stop, those little things. So the fact that it was so convenient, the tenants were happy. C'est pas cette rue, hein. Pour aller, on va tout droit et puis on va tourner sur la rue en haut, sur Presley là-bas. Oui, non, on va revenir chez lui. Allons-y un peu dans le neighborhood pour voir à quoi ça ressemble, si ça a changé. But just think about it. What can you do that will give you $200,000 in 8 years without you having to do anything? Because a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, you have to pay taxes, you have to do repairs, you have to do all this. You think that I did repairs for 200,000 during that time? I did not do any repairs for that much. I had tenants in there. My mortgage was like $1,400, but I was renting the whole place, rooms, basement, all of that. Total was $3,300. So I was basically making almost $1,800, $1,500 or more in cash flow. Please don't joke with real estate. I am a stock market coach. I'm a stock market instructor, stock market investing instructor. I invest in the stock market a lot, but I have flipped things around. Now I invest 80% in real estate, 20% in the stock market. There's a reason for that. You invest in newly built properties, give yourself 1 year. Your down payment, you're going to get that back in equity and a little bit more. Please take real estate seriously. That's what I wanted to tell you today. Je ne sais pas comment on fait pour tourner la caméra. Je vais peut-être juste tourner ça comme ça. So you just look at the neighborhood a little bit. I don't know. OK. Non, je vois pas ça. C'est pas grave. Je vais sortir le téléphone et je vais vous montrer un peu. Just to show you the neighborhood, right, here in Maryland. This is the town here is called Lanham. Lanham Seabrook is where I bought my first house. And I remember when I bought my house here, there's a lady that used to insult me everywhere on social media. I was starting as a life coach, John Maxwell certified life coach. And every time she would go on Facebook and be like, how are you going to have a coach that lives in Lanham? Right? She lives in the Mabanda of Maryland. Like, Mabanda is just to consider that as a little town in Douala that is not like that has a lot of poor quality houses and stuff like that. So for that person, that was the poorest, one of the poorest neighborhood in Douala, in her opinion, where I come from. And that was her way of saying, I live in a terrible neighborhood. But how does that matter? I made $200,000 living in this neighborhood. $200,000. So I'm gonna remove the phone for a second for you, so you can see the neighborhood, right? So this is the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood in Lanham, Maryland. You see the houses here. Small houses, nothing special, but this is where I bought my first house, and 200,000 8 years later. Okay, see, this is my first house. This is such a coincidence. This is my first house right here. Rien n'a changé, hein? C'est la même maison, hein? C'est la même maison. Can you see, guys? Send a comment if you can see. Right, this is that same house here. Same house, right? So This is my neighborhood. This is where I bought my first ever house, and 200,000. And 8 years later, sold the house for $400,000. What else can you ask for? This is investment. Now, if your down payment, you can invest $50,000. Oh, merci Damalin, merci pour le commentaire. It wasn't bad, Christian. It wasn't bad at all. 200,000. I'm telling you, just imagine $10,000 and you have a house, 6,000 down payment, 4,000 closing costs, and you get some assistance. And at least I was in my house, right? I wasn't renting. I was upset that my rent was going up every year. I said, no, this is not gonna continue. So I decided to buy a house. This is my first house. I'm so excited. I'm so emotional talking about it. Really. So I just want to encourage somebody today, please try to find a real estate agent you can talk to. Discuss your options. Try to see what you can do. Oh, ils ont couvert le deck. Le deck là n'était pas couvert, non? Ils ont couvert. Oh, mais c'est bien. Wow, ça c'est super. Oui, je vois le garage. Oh my God. That is so amazing. Allons-y. That's so amazing. The guy has really improved the house. Oh my God. I'm so emotional. Like, this is my first house, guys. This is my first house. 200,000. Today I live in a house that is valued at, multiple times that. But this house gives me so much emotions because it was the best decision I could ever make. When I sold this house, I was able to get enough money to start investing in smaller properties where I could put tenants. And that's how I started building my portfolio. Now I have dozens of properties, right? I have so many properties now, but I had to start with this one. Oh my God, quelle coïncidence. Je savais même pas que on allait passer ici. But I had to start with this one. Please, you're listening to me. Ask me a question. What is your reason? What's your reason? Like, ask me a question right now. Let me answer that question for you. What's the reason why you have not yet purchased your first house? What is the reason? I want to talk to somebody. Like, ça me touche tellement, vraiment. Like, this is where I started. This is where everything started. 200,000, 3% down, $6,000, 4,000 in closing costs, contribution. How to contact you directly, Lisa. Lillian, it's very simple. I'm actually going to respond to your message once I'm done with the live. I would put my calendar link. You can go pick a time, 30 minutes, free session with me. Talk to me about your situation. If your problem is the down payment, we can find you an investment, a loan. We can find you a loan with a zero down payment option. If you've never bought a house and it's your first house, you may qualify for a 0% down payment. So just let me finish the live and then I'll come and answer and give you the link to my calendar. So you can get a house nowadays with 0% down payment. If you're a veteran or you're in the army or whatever, 0% down payment is possible. Even if you're not in the army, you have good credit score. I'm talking about 640 and up. You can get a loan program with 0% down. So if your problem is that you don't even have money, you should at least bring a little bit of money, maybe for your closing cost. And the closing cost, sometimes a good realtor would negotiate closing cost assistance for you. So with the closing cost assistance, your seller, the person who's selling you the house, they could maybe contribute 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, and you can use that money to pay for your closing costs. So technically, it is possible for you to have a house in the United States with $0 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $6,000, like me, $10,000. Everybody thinks that they need 45,000, 60,000, 100,000 to buy a house. You don't need that much money to start, guys. You don't. So Funu says, I will swing by in DC in January so we can talk. Yeah, you can come to the office. Let's discuss your game plan. I am up for it. Like, come, let's talk. This is what I want to do. I want to see my community thrive. You guys don't know how I feel when I go to that community that I told you about, where they started building at 225,000. When I go there and I see that 50 properties, like that is almost 25%. 25% of all the properties that the builder built there, my African brothers and sisters bought those properties. Like, just imagine how I feel when my community follows instructions, like they pick up an opportunity and they come and invest. So they bought those properties. We got the tenants for them. Every single street. They have the first street comes forward. That's where the office is. They have Paddington Street. I have a young lady from Delaware. She bought her property there. It was no longer 225. It was, I think, 235 or 240 at the time. Paddington, we also bought a property there with my group of investors, Millionaire Property LLC. We bought properties there together. Our first property was a $224,000 end unit in that community. We have a tenant there for $2,000. The lady works in a dealership. She has been our tenant for all that time, and she pays her rent on time, if not before time. Like, if she's gonna be late one day, she starts sending me messages a week before to tell me, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be late one day. I say one day. Excellent tenant that we've had with our group in Millionaire Property LLC. And we purchased multiple properties together. So on Paddington Street, we purchased our third property. Then that young lady in Delaware purchased a property there. The next street comes forward. I think, uh, Ok, on a été coupé, oh. On a été coupé, les amis. On va seulement end the live here.